Avengers Doomsday is already starting to suffer from reshoots. It's all going to start over again. After the intro, we'll get started. Hello, Ms. Pops Consumer, we're back. Look, red alert for Doomsday, huh? We have information that some scenes will need to be reshot. He called the crew back to reshoot, and the reason is very curious. Robert Downey Jr., who's getting $50 million per movie, is on top of the world. He can do anything. Robert Downey Jr. asked to reshoot his scenes as Dr. Doom. He didn't like the final result. Do you know why? Because he wasn't in the scene. All the scenes of Dr. Doom that have been filmed so far were filmed with a stunt double wearing the costume, wearing Dr. Doom's armor. And that Robert Downey Jr. would only do the voiceover. He would stay behind the cameras with the script, reading the lines, or improvising them while the stunt double performed. It didn't work out. He didn't like it and asked to do those scenes himself. That's the rumor, and now I'm going to give the source. The source, once again, is John Rocha's Hot Mic Podcasts. Right? That's the name. And it was brought up by Kiriketa. It was brought up by Jeff Snyder once again, right? That we, especially now, treat his rumors with much more attention and suspicion because Jeff Snyder was called out by James Gunn recently when he spread a rumor about Robin, and James Gunn said the rumor was completely false. And Jeff Snyder freaked out live. He had a massive meltdown. On the podcast, he threatened to destroy James Gunn, leak his script, and criticize the Detective Comics universe. So we stay a bit skeptical, but I'm not going to stop analyzing it here because it's something for us to talk about. So what now? Robert Downey Jr. asked to redo his scenes since he wasn't satisfied with the stunt double's performance. If true, several things about Dr. Doom could be revealed in this movie. First, the final scene of Fantastic Four. The post-credit scene doesn't make any sense with Robert Downey Jr. there. If Robert Downey Jr.'s face doesn't appear in the post-credit scene and he doesn't even speak, what was the need for Robert Downey Jr. to be in that post-credit scene? I mentioned here on the channel that they might have said it's Robert Downey Jr. to give some reinforcement, to give credibility to the post-credit scene. It was actually the guy himself adding emotion to the story instead of using a stunt double. No fun, but it was a stunt double. To me, that was a stunt double. It doesn't make sense to pay Robert Downey Jr. for a day's work just to have him with his back turned. It doesn't make any practical sense. But they said it was Robert Downey Jr. there. Now, some hotshot from Chile claims Robert Downey Jr. uses a body double. Something doesn't add up. It was either Robert Downey Jr. both times or the body double both times. Another thing, Robert Downey Jr. isn't really a fan of the armor. He was Iron Man for years, wasn't he? But if you look at the behind the scenes photos, you'll see that Iron Man's armor got smaller over time. It was almost a fully real armor at first. He wore that carbon fiber armor, at least most of it. There were some computer generated imagery inserts and such, but the armor was actually on set. Later, he uses only the helmet or chest piece. It gets reduced, and the mock-up appears in multiple parts of the suit. Eventually, he asked to stop using it because it was uncomfortable and heavy. And he says that he would perform much better, he would be much more comfortable on set. And the armor is digitally inserted over his body, which makes a lot of people complain. A lot of people miss the armor. Of practical effects because of the nanotechnology. Robert Downey Jr. requested this addition to Marvel because he was tired of wearing and removing the uncomfortable armor, so they created this solution. Not the armor. Now, Iron Man's suit is going to be made of nanotechnology, which is much easier, to get in and out of according to the story. Much easier. So he keeps this armor, and that's what happened. Is that why the armor became an anthropology? It was a request from the actor, who more and more was growing, right? He kept getting bigger and bigger. And then we get to the second part of our rumor, because Jeff Snare also says that things are tense behind the scenes, that there's a rivalry of egos. On set, it's only comparable to Fast and Furious, which had those epic feuds between Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel, which we all know by heart, right? Is something similar happening now? He doesn't specify if it's between the Russell brothers and Robert Downey Jr. or Robert Downey Jr. and Kevin Feige. What's going on? We know that Downey Jr. has never had as much control over a Marvel production as he does in Avengers Doomsday. And maybe all this control, all this power is revealing itself in a tyranny worthy of Doctor Doom. It's a possibility. But once again, I'm going to draw your attention to Chili Cuenta. Chili Cuenta likes those rumors like, oh, the world is ending, everything's destroyed, just so he can make his jokes. So we always have to be cautious about that. Marvel often does reshoots, a process called plussing, where they film more to see what works. They have real money to keep filming and reshooting. They have time. Now they do. The movie was moved to December next year. Now there's plenty of time. If the movie was still in May, I was pretty worried about that rumor, but since it's only for December, there's room to reshoot whatever they want to reshoot and burn that money on whatever they want, because this movie can't flop no matter what. So I think reshoots are possible. I don't think Donald Jr. would give up the chance to play Doctor Doom on screen. For some, scenes like that, a bit simpler, yes, but in a dialogue, in a moment where he needs to act, man, an actor's performance isn't just his voice. The physical acting is very important. The body also speaks, and you need a good actor to do all the physical interpretation of a character. Even more so when he doesn't have a face, which is to be used for the stunt double. We're imagining it's neither Robert Downey Jr. unmasked nor Dr. Tino masked. I remember Darth Vader. 3 actors played him. David Prowse, a giant who played Darth Vader physically, gave a simple gestural performance. David Prowse even spoke the lines. But then there was the voiceover, which was James Earl Jones, and he was a master. He gave the voice to Darth Vader and helped build this character brilliantly. And in the end, Sebastian Shaw, who shows Darth Vader's face at the end when he takes off the mask, that's a whole different story. But I keep wondering if they're doing the same thing with Dr. Tino. We'll use a stunt double for his scenes, and Robert Downey Jr. will record the voiceover in a studio. Lame, especially since he's on screen, right? Reading there next to the camera, it's kind of a sloppy image, isn't it? It would be better if you were actually acting. To have the whole construction of empowerment, strength, physique, and majesty of Dr. Doom, which is important. You need a skilled actor, not just a stunt double. Let's see, but I don't trust it. That sounds like gossip. That's just gossip. To be able to create rumors, to get invited to parties, and invite Jeff Snyder to the party, otherwise he'll spread another negative rumor. Do you think Robert Downey Jr. appears on screen as Dr. Doom, or is he just voicing the character? Is there drama or an ego clash? Could this affect the movie? Comment below. I'll return soon with more pop culture topics. After the event, some channel options will pop up for you to click and stick around with me a little longer. See you later, see you soon, see you in a bit. Become a member. The channel members don't watch commercials. You'll get an exclusive link without ads if you become a member now. $2.99. See you later, see you soon, see you in a bit. Bye. And that was another episode of Cuatro Coisas. The channel has at least 3 videos every day from Monday to Sunday. If you liked it, here are more tips to watch. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell for new updates. Thank you very much. See you next time.